So this might be one of the most important episodes I've ever recorded. As I've got started in this rehab chiro mastermind program, and so many of us are in the cash-based setting, what I've recognized more than anything is that there's so many of us out there with severe money issues, where I think some of them might come from how we grew up. Some of it might be an inferiority complex because of being chiropractors, but I know they exist. And what I also understand is that if we're going to live in this world and deliver rehab in the way which we want, we have to work through these. So in this episode today, it's another clip from our Jersey Shore pop-up mastermind event. It was a live event down at the Jersey Shore in Marlboro, New Jersey. And I go through the paradox that we all face, the dissonance that we all speak about when essentially we first graduate and we open a practice, which I did too. And I just started charging less than where I used to work because I didn't have enough experience. The problem was I get mad because the chiropractor down the street who delivers inferior service to me, he's able to charge whatever the heck he wants. And so we talked through this because if we can't understand the finances and not like the P&L, not the spreadsheet that the CFO looks at, but if we can't understand it in our own brain, our relationship with money, our relationship to money, we'll never be able to run a successful practice. We'll never be able to build the life we want, and we'll for sure not be able to practice how we want. Like I said, I know a lot of people have gotten value from this podcast, but I genuinely believe this could be the most important episode we've ever done. I appreciate all you guys listening. Hey, if you're enjoying the podcast, do me a favor. Take a screenshot of it, post it on your social, and tag me in it. I'd love to spread the podcast to more people. People have been getting giving a ton of great feedback for it. So again, I just want to keep spreading the word here. We can help another person, a couple more people, and build this rehab community. I'd be forever grateful. So please take a screenshot as you're listening, tag me in it, and we'll see you soon. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Business School for the Rehab Chiropractor. Class is officially in session. My name is Justin Rabinowitz, and I am a rehab chiropractor on a mission to teach you, a fellow rehab chiropractor, the exact tools and systems I've used to build my own successful rehab chiropractic practice so you can do the same. I hope you enjoy, and please subscribe. When we talk about sales in our business, we use a term called logical selling, right? Logical selling is essentially like people have objections to do a lot of things in life. We all do. And almost without fail, none of them are logical. And the part that most of us don't actually understand and recognize is that they don't know that they're not logical. So the decisions that people make to do something or to not do something, for the most part, people don't have the consciousness to even understand the actual reason why they're not doing it. And one of the things that I've recognized in doing this type of work now is to give people what to say when, how to handle this objection, how to go through all of it is literally 20%. We talk about 80-20. But the 80% becomes us internally understanding who these people are, having empathy for where they're coming from, and I think also recognizing that we're exactly the same. Because it's so easy to get frustrated when people say no or they make up excuses or they do all this stuff. And if I could do anything for you to just help you recognize that it's not real, and also that we do the same thing in other aspects of our life, it'll save you a world of pain. So the reason why I bring that up, so as many of you know, we're doing this intro course. Jeremy and I are teaching an intro course, and we sent out a survey to about 24 people. So the people that signed up for this course are either they're going to be graduating school soon, they are new in practice, or they are an associate or something like that, right? They're kind of like getting started. And don't think for a second that because of where they are in their journey, that's why they say this, because what's going to be worse is the people that aren't on the course, because they're going to think like this for the next 30 years. But the stuff that these people are saying, we all were there, might still be there, and if we don't do something about it, we will be there forever, right? So one of the questions that I asked, we did a survey, and I said,
the question was either, what do you think of the cash versus insurance debate? Or the other question, I think, was, what do you think of fair price to charges, right? Very open-ended, because I wanted to see, and this is what we got. But don't laugh, because this is all of us, right? So what do you think you should charge? So one of the answers. I charge $50. Rates like 200 to 300 need to be earned. Listen to the words. Rates like 200 to 300 need to be earned. I have a lot of clinical skills I need to develop first. Let me read that again. I charge $50. Rates like 200 to 300 need to be earned. I have a lot of clinical skills I need to develop. How many of us at some point thought something similar to that, right? All of us. So it's not crazy, right? This is all of us. What's fascinating, I don't know this specific person, but I've seen it enough times to know. The same person that would say that would also get on a call with me and be so angry that the guy doing HIO down the street signs people up for $4,000 treatment plans. We know, and what are they saying? I'm frustrated because what they do is bullshit. It's not high clinical skill. They're not giving people good outcomes. They're doing all this weird stuff that we don't even know works. They have a hip problem and they're adjusting C1, all this stuff that we don't believe in. So they need to earn their clinical skills, but then they're mad at the guy down the street who hasn't earned his, who's charging $4,000. At some point, which one is it? You got to choose. And that's what we call dissonance. That's dissonance, because logic right there would which one? You got to pick a side. Either it's bullshit and you can charge whatever you want and the clinical skills is irrelevant, or, okay, yeah, you're right, you need to earn clinical skills. But you got to pick one. Again, this is where people get stuck. That statement right there is where for the next 30 years, people in my town won't pay, no one can afford my care, no one does this, blah, blah, blah. Like over and over and over again. People think that because we're in a nice town here, that he can charge what he charges, that we're in a nice town where we are, that you can charge what we're charging. And don't get me wrong. Like if you're in the middle of Indiana, maybe you can't charge $300 a session. But I promise you, as a general rule, you can also charge more than you are charging. And the point is not charging the money. It's the mindset. It's the false beliefs that we all have around this stuff. Now, the problem that most of us have is not the clinical skills to be able to charge that much. That's the part that I think we get confused on. It's the rest of the skills. Because the reason why that guy down the street who does HIO or whatever else bullshit technique that he does and can charge $4,000, we know is not because of his clinical skill. It can't be. However, he's done a good enough job of convincing someone that it's worth it. And so what I say is we could either get mad at them and then we could live in our little shack and they could live in a mansion on Rumson down the street, or we could beat them at their own game. That's the only option you've got. The other part too is at the end of the day, everyone's like, I want to help people. Good, me too. How much help are you giving that patient when he's going down the street to that guy? Not a lot. So if it was for me, and I know that they're playing that game, now you could choose not to play, and you could choose not to learn what we're learning here. You could choose that, but then don't also tell me you want to help people. Because I believe that them going down the street is not helping them. I think that everyone in here would have a better shot at giving that if it was my mom in our office, not that guy down the street. But at some point, we've got to make a decision on who we're going to be. You can bury your head in the research. Great. I love it. You can go to every clinical seminar you want. When those people go to somewhere else that you think is bullshit, that's on you. Because you don't have the marketing skills, you don't have the sales skills, you can't communicate with them. And if they think it's too expensive to see you, or they don't see value in a rehab car or whatever they say, and end up down the street with somebody else, that's on you. 100%. That's, again, going back, that's kind of logical, kind of step by step here. Which one is it? Which one is it? We got to choose. I was on a call recently, so Jake referred someone to me. Guys in Long Island. It's kind of funny because Jake referred someone. This guy talked to two people. This guy, Ben, that we went to school with, and Jake. And I get on a call with this other guy who was referred, and I was like, Jesus Christ, if Ben and Jake had a kid, it would be you. They literally was like, it was hilarious. But anyhow, but again, this is the thing, right? Talk about how this works. This guy's about to open his own practice. We started having this conversation, and he's going to be near Jake. And so he said, He's like, yeah, I'm charging, I don't know, 70, 100 bucks, whatever he's saying he's charging. And he said, this was it right here. He said, I can't, Jake's been doing it 10 years, very clinically skilled. He's like, there's no way I can charge as much as him. I said, you're right. I said, you're right. I said, but you want to know what? Last year when Jake and I started, he was 9 years into practice and he was less than half the price. And so you're telling me that something happened to his clinical skill in the last 12 months that allowed him to go from 125 to 300 a session? That had to be the answer, right? You became Carl Levitt in a year.
I took DNSB at the beginning of April.
That's right.
That was a changing point.
Yeah, that was it. So he came back from DNSB, right? Great course, right? Great course. You're in Mackenzie right now, so when you get that, $600 a session.
After next weekend, yeah.
How logical is this? How logical is this? This makes no sense. This is logical selling. By the way, the bit that I think we all should recognize is, like I said, this happens to us. This same guy is going to be pissed when a patient says, yeah, no, it's just expensive. He's going to be like, yeah, nobody has money. No one can afford it. I was like, dude, you just did the same shit to me and you're going to allow them to do it to you and just go on your life thinking that's true? None of what we're saying is true. We're all liars. We just don't know it. But it's all bullshit. When you can wrap your head around that concept that this whole thing is like a game, it gets a lot of fun because you recognize that people do really weird shit. And you know what I say? If someone's going to waste their money on anything, I would rather it be on our services because we're doing really good work. I mean, after we finish here, I wish I could, but I have to go win a cornhole tournament. But if I wasn't,
I challenge that.
if we didn't have to go here, we should take a class trip to Jenks on the boardwalk and watch people go spend about $200 in the next 3 hours ripping shots. And we're saying that is a better use of their money than coming to see us? How many of those people you think have the money to do that? None. I told the story before. My brother-in-law years ago at a bachelor party in Vegas. We went to like the pool party thing. We go up there. They had a bottle of Tito's like this, $1,000. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And guess what? No one had a problem. But meanwhile, the same guys probably wouldn't come and, no, you guys are expensive. Right? It's crazy. It's around you every day, every single day. Like I said, we can either fight it or we can embrace it. I think the other part too that I'll say it, I think I'm just going to do every talk I do with the same thing, is the world just does not, we all live in this world of thinking, oh, they want to use their insurance, they don't want to pay, all these different things. But as a general fact of the world, not everyone always takes the cheapest option of everything. It's not true. Go in that parking lot. There are some people that have shit cars, me being one of them. There are some people that have like cars that are 3 times the cost. It did the same thing. It got us here. In every aspect of our life that exists. Some people go to community college. Some people go to private school. Some people buy the nicest clothes. Some people don't care. Jake has a hole in his shirt, for God's sakes. I mean,
You really do.
it really does.
If they're doing well, I'm not going to sew it.
It's all around you. We all make decisions too. There's some stuff that you guys will look at, I'm not paying for it. Fine, but there's other stuff you spend a lot of money on, right? There's a lot of stuff. Now, our job becomes to figure out how do we get people to see the value in what we do, which is essentially why we're here. But it does. I can teach you all of the stuff that's to come. Without the first part, it's irrelevant. Because if you go around the world thinking that no one wants to pay and everyone wants to use their insurance, and the guy, he's not with us anymore, one of our clients, he's like, yeah, I take insurance. I'm like, why? That's fine. Well, like, can I ask why? Yeah, everyone in Chicago wants to use their insurance. Oh, because no one in New Jersey does. Yeah. Like, again, it makes no sense. But that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if you found this content valuable, here are 4 ways I can help you for free. 1, grab a copy of my free guide, the Rehab Chiropractor's Checklist. You can get that at go.drjustinrabinowitz.com/guide. That's go.drjustinrabinowitz.com/guide. 2, Go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram at Justin Rabinowitz, where I post business content. 3, subscribe to my weekly newsletter by sending me an email at coaching@strivetomove.com. And 4, leave us a 5-star review so we can gain access to more influential people and bring those lessons back to you.